Hello, this is a training video on the new dynamic naming setup in WDQ. With this update, you will be able to control which menus display on the web page, the group change page, the quote defaults pop-up, the production report, and through all that, what displays within the quote PDFs. So to get started, under Setup, Products, Series, you have control over each individual series which menus display. So if we open up this series by clicking the middle blue details button, scroll down below, and you can see all of the menus that you are accustomed to. Now, a lot of these menus never applied to your business. Like if you did not work with Cardinal Glass, Preserve, and Neat were not necessary. So now with this, you can turn on or off each menu item, and then within each text box, you can input in the display name. So like for example here, for breather tube, instead of saying breather tube, I called it capillary. Or maybe I could call this as high altitude. Then I click save. So if we open up a quote, and we look at a line item for that series, so this is that specific series. Once again, each series has its own individual control. You can scroll down here. You'll notice there's only one color and it's just displayed as finished because I had one of the colors at exterior color turned off. And then here is where our breather tube value is, and now it's displaying as high altitude. If we print out the quote report, you will see that the quote PDF uses the same terminology and is only displaying the active items. So here, an example, interior trim was renamed to casing. If I go to that web page, interior trim is now casing. Additional controls that you have now are over the quote defaults pop-up. So go to setup, quote defaults. So quote defaults is the pop-up when you start a new quote where you're setting the line item details. So here you can choose if you wanted to display that quote timeline and probability simply by clicking yes or no. And you can also choose your default quote method via standard or quick. And then also if you want to display installation. So like if you are not a Cardinal customer and you don't want to offer Preserve and Neat, you would set those to no. And you can see all these items right here. Additional control you have is over the group change page. So you can choose what displays on the group change and that terminology. So if I go to menu, group changes, you'll notice this menu is much smaller now because I had many of these items turned off. So glass packages, I called it glass assembly. So the group change page only controls what displays on the group change page. So if we did a new quote, you'll notice the quote defaults is much smaller because I'm only displaying the items that I wanted to. The quote timeline and probability pop-up has been removed because of the settings that I had made right here. The last dynamic control you have is for the production report. So go to Setup, Settings, then Production. And down here, for the report configuration, you can choose what displays within the production report and the title. Also on the production report, one additional change I want to point out is the ability to control the cut length format and the production length format. So the production length format is where within the production report it displays like the frame size, sash size, glass size, screen size. Here you can choose if that's in fraction or decimals. And then the cut length format is what your cut reports display as. So if there are any questions, feel free to give us a call, but This is an update that will require a couple minutes of your time to implement, but it'll be a nice update that'll give you the data and the look and feel that you are specifically looking for. Thank you.